Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and the topic of today's video is, what if the police report is wrong? What if the police officer who investigated my crash got the information in the police report wrong? Well, this actually comes up quite a bit, because believe it or not, police officers are human beings like the rest of us. And if they're fighting with their wife or husband, or have financial problems, or their kids are in trouble and they're not getting enough sleep, or they're under pressure at work to create more paper, more tickets, more warnings, things like that. And, if the number of police officers on duty is lower, then they divide the work up. And then their sergeants and their lieutenants put pressure on the guys on the street to cover everything in a timely way. I mean, to the extent that they can, right? And in most major cities, there's a shortage of police officers for a lot of reasons, right? So, it's been true my entire career. I've been doing this for 25 years, that a fair number, maybe 10% of police reports are just flat out wrong. Either wrong in the details or wrong in major information, right? So what implication does that have for you? Well, a police report with the wrong info in it can really have a bad effect, right? One is if they get the parties' names wrong, like they spell somebody's name wrong, and then we can't identify who the person is who ran into you, or who owned the car, or what the company's name is, or what their insurance company is. That can delay your case. It can slow your case down. But we can usually get that information through other means. Like, for example, we can get, if we have a plate number or a VIN number on a car, there's ways that I, as an attorney, can find out who the legal owner is and things like that. And then there's ways for us to sometimes be able to find out who the insurance is. But as bad as that is, it's even worse when the police officer writes the narrative, the second side of the police report, where there's a diagram, like they draw out what happened, and they decide who is in Unit 1 on the police report and who's on Unit 2. So whoever's in Unit 1, who's listed first in the police report, that is the person who, in the police officer's estimation, caused the crash. So you don't want to be Unit 1. And even if you didn't cause the crash, and even if the officer made a completely innocent mistake that's obvious, like we're able to demonstrate that it was a clear mistake, a lot of insurance companies will automatically deny your claim. And that means they won't make an offer, they will fight the case, they will call the police officer as a witness at trial, and have the police officer testify to what's in their police report. Now, that might sound crazy. So let's say we have two witnesses that say that what's on the police report is wrong, and that it was the other guy's fault, not yours. That the other guy ran the stop sign, not you. Well, remember, insurance companies, if they know, let's say that your case is worth $100,000, they don't want to pay $100,000. They would rather pay their lawyer $5, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 to defend a case if they can reduce what the injured person gets, right? And if they think their lawyer can call a police officer, have the police officer show up in uniform, look official, get on the witness stand, and look, what can the police officer do? Is he or she going to get on the witness stand and say, yes, I'm a professional, I investigated the crash, and yes, my police report is completely wrong? Nobody wants to get on the witness stand and admit they screwed up. So they're going to, it's similar to doctors with medical records. So, I've done a video, I think relatively recently, about what happens if your medical records are wrong, or your doctor put something wrong in your medical records. It's similar with a police report. I've had cases where the police officer will say, driver of Unit 1 said, quote, blah, 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 close quote. And my client denies saying it, and all the rest of it. Now, back before everything was computerized, and even some departments still write everything. It's not like typed into the computer in their car. They're literally just writing on a form, on a duplicate form where you get a copy, they get a copy, like a carbon paper type thing. I don't even know if police departments use that anymore, but I still do get police reports that are handwritten. And we don't know what's going on. That police officer may have worked a double shift or had any of the problems we talked about before. So there have been situations where I represented somebody whose brother, who was a fireman or a cop in the town. So let's say it's Burbank, Illinois, or something like that, and it's like the cop's brother or an off-duty cop is the one who caused the crash. You can, very high percentage of the time, if you get into a crash with an off-duty cop in their town, you're going to be Unit 1 and you're going to get a couple of tickets no matter what the facts are. So that's the first thing. It doesn't happen all that often, because how often are you going to get into a crash with an off-duty police officer? But it does happen. It does happen. So, end of the day, it can really hurt your case. Now, you're never going to be able to fix that. If it's a situation where a fireman or a cop or somebody from the mayor's office from a little town gets into a crash with you when they're on duty or off duty, you're going to get the tickets. You're going to be Unit 1. Like a disturbing, probably 50% of the time, based on my experience, no matter what the facts are. But the vast majority of mistakes in a police report are just innocent mistakes. So what can we do to fix it? Well, I've already told you that if it's just an issue of the wrong name, the wrong insurance company, the wrong policy number, the wrong phone number, the wrong license plate number, the wrong driver's license, the wrong VIN number, there are ways around that. It takes me more work, but I'm able to figure it out. The more troubling one is when a police report gets who was at fault wrong, right? So I was talking to this guy about a case a long time ago, and he was, credible guy, told his story. We got the police report. Police report was dead wrong. Dead wrong. Blamed my guy for running the light. My guy got transported from the scene to the hospital, so he never got to talk to the police. The police dropped a police report off at the emergency room for him after, without ever talking to him. So they completed the police report without talking to one of the people who were in the crash. Now, we got the police report, and I talked to my client and explained the problem, much, like I'm explaining it to you. And, he was like, well, do what you can. Well, a year and a half later, we ended up settling his case for quite a lot of money because we did a couple of things. One, he went to the police report and he was able to do a supplement report. So if you didn't get a say in how the crash happened, you can usually go to the police department and make them do a supplemental report. Now, it's got to be close in time to the crash. That's number one. At least get your story in, all right? That's number one. Number two is other witnesses or video evidence. So, for example, if there's a pod camera or a video camera in the intersection, that video or photographic evidence or photos of where the impact on the car is, that's a huge one. I'll have a lot of car crash cases where the insurance company is denying the claim, and then I take a close look at the photos of the car damage, and where the damage is and what the damage looks like makes it very unlikely that the defendant's insurance company's theory of what happened is correct. So photos of the car damage, any video, sometimes video of the traffic light sequence. Like if I have a solid green, he can't have a left turn arrow. This sort of thing. And even skid marks on the pavement. All of this stuff helps us prove your theory. And then, the gold standard is witnesses. So look, if you have 2-3 people in your car and the police officer writes the report incorrectly, and we can get statements from the other people in your car, we have a good situation. We have a very good situation, right? So, my point is, there's ways to combat it, but always, if a police officer is investigating a crash, make sure you get your say. Don't be rude. Because this is something else that I've seen before. Okay, I've had people involved in a crash, and they're angry that somebody ran into them, so they get out of their car aggressively, MF this, MF that, and they cop an attitude with the cop. So the other person is being nice to the cop, you're being aggressive with the cop. Guess whose story the cop is going to believe, and guess who the cop is going to want to put down as Unit 1. So when you're doing, and this is good advice, period, I don't care how you feel about police, if you're involved in any kind of accident or any incident with the police, you have to remain calm. No matter how upset you are, no matter how outraged you are, you have to remain calm, because police officers are human beings just like the rest of us. And if what you put out towards them is aggressive, negative, combative, confrontational, and the other side is nice and respectful, more times than not, you're going to end up as Unit 1 on the police report. So I've had that happen recently too. Luckily, we were able to get a good settlement in that lady's case, because when the insurance company, this is a rare one, when the insurance company took a statement of their own insured, he actually told the truth. So even though they put us down on Unit 1, that didn't kill us. But you can't count on the insurance company getting an honest statement from their driver, or telling us what their driver said, because their goal is to pay no money. So if they have to hide things, they'll hide them. I've even had adjusters tell me, oh, well, we've got witness statements about blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, okay, fine, we'll file a lawsuit. We file a lawsuit. At no point do they ever disclose the witness statements. At no point do they ever name those people as witnesses in trial. So there are insurance companies that play fast and loose, with all of this, information. So anyway, that's what's happening there, ladies and gentlemen. We got a truck that's stuck under a bridge here, and nobody wants to let anybody over. And they're letting us over. That was nice. Thank you. Anyway, so that's what's going on here, folks. I hope this information in the video helped you. If you know anybody who's been involved in a car crash, work injury, dog bite, bar fight, really no matter how they got hurt, if they had a fall, they were injured by, a doctor mistake, or they got a nursing home injury, that's what I do for a living, and I offer a free consultation. You can get it anytime, night or day. And you get that for free by calling at 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. It is absolutely free to get a consultation. I listen to what happened. I answer all your questions. And if you want to hire me, then you can hire me. If you don't, we part as friends. It's no big deal. But that's a free service I offer to injured people, just like all the videos that I make for free for injured people and the tools on my website. And that brings us to the tools on my website. Sometimes you have an injury situation, or you have curiosity about an injury case, but you're not ready to talk to a lawyer. For whatever reason, you don't want to talk to a lawyer yet, and that's okay. I built 2 really cool tools that are on my website for free to use. They're 100% free. They're no obligation. One of them is called the Case Cash Calculator. It tells you how much your case might be worth in settlement. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator. And that one tells you whether you might have a good case or whether your case might be kind of rough, might have some serious problems. And like we explain in these videos, if a case has problems, that's important information for you to know for 2 reasons. 1, for settlement value. 2, so that you or an attorney on your behalf preferably can fix those problems. If a good lawyer knows about a problem in a case early on, they can do a lot of things to fix them or mitigate the harm, reduce the harm that they cause to your case value. So that's how all that works. And those are free. I'm going to leave the links in the description. Literally takes you 10-15 seconds to answer 6-7 really easy questions, and it gives you the answers. Free, no obligation. So if you want to check them out, the links are in the description. You could share those with anyone you think they would benefit. If you enjoy the videos, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a like, and if you want to see more videos, subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. I usually release 2 videos a week. And last thing, if you enjoy the information I provide and you check out my tools and you think they're cool, or any of the information I give you has increased your understanding or you appreciate it, you can do a nice thing for me. It would be a really nice favor. Chicago is a very, very competitive market for injury lawyers, and I'm a small independent office, and I like doing it that way because I get to have a personal relationship with my clients, and I don't have partners who are influencing me or telling me, take this case, don't take this case, right? None of that. I'm not going to fight with anybody over money, which, believe it or not, lawyers do all the time. I'm just not interested in that. I want to be my own man, and I want my law practice to be about you, the injured person, so that we can talk about your case, make a plan, and we'll do it, right? And because that's the case, I'm competing against big multi-million-dollar out-of-state firms that are advertising in Chicago. So you probably see them on TV, trust fund kids. They graduate law school and they immediately start spending $1 million or $2 million or $10 million on TV ads and billboards and all the rest of it, even though, they may have never gone to court in their life, they may never have tried a case in their life, and they don't actually talk to any of the clients. They have intake coordinators who do all of that, and you never get to talk to the lawyer. You don't ever really know who does anything on your case. Well, not at my office, but as a result, it means it's super competitive, and these guys are snapping up a lot of the cases because they have a giant footprint. But one way I can even the playing field is with good Google reviews. So it really turns out that people who are looking for a lawyer read the Google reviews. So Reader's Digest is that if you wouldn't mind giving me a 5-star review on Google, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to leave the link in the description. All you do is cut and paste the link, put it in your web browser on your phone, tablet, or PC. Takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally takes you 5 to 10 seconds, but it would be an invaluable favor to me, and I'd really appreciate it. It would really help me out. There are services out there that, and I know this because they've called me and asked me to hire them. It's out-of-country places that make fake Google profiles. And they make a bunch of fake Google profiles, and they use what's called a VPN to make it look like they're in the United States or in the Chicagoland area. And they use these fake accounts, and they charge the lawyers like $50 or $100 per fake review. So these lawyers who, let's say 4 years ago, I would be looking at my competitors' websites, and they have like a 2.3 star rating. And now all of a sudden they've got 600 reviews and their star rating is, 4.9 or 4.8. It certainly makes me suspicious. Do I know that they used a fake service? No, but if a fake service does a web search for lawyers in Chicago and they find me, believe me, they're going to find the bigger firms who can afford to pay them. And how do you go from like 23 reviews and an average star rating of 3.4 or 2.6 all the way up to a rating of 4.8, 4.9 with 500 reviews like in a year? It's suspicious. Can't prove it. Seems weird to me. My point is, I need positive reviews to compete. So anyway, I go on and on. I'm going to end it here. I hope you and your family are doing well. If I can be of assistance, please don't hesitate to call 312-500-4500. Have a great day and take care.